Houston Real Estate Radio starts right now.
Welcome back. You're listening to Houston Real Estate Radio. I'm your host, Shannon Register, and anytime you have a real estate question, you can call us here at the studio at 281-882-8088, and we'll be happy to answer your real estate questions right here on the air. We also video record all of our segments, so if you missed any of today's segment, you can always go to HoustonRealEstateRadio.com, and you can find the phone number there on that page as well. You can watch videos. We have so much information there for realtors and for consumers who are looking to buy and sell in this great hot market that Houston's having this summer. You know, we're going to be in fall soon, but right now it's still hot and everything's moving, and it's really great. My next guest here on the show is Barb Schwarz, and she is just really the creator of home staging. And you know, we've talked with you before about home staging and how important it is. And so, Barb, we're just so excited to have you on the show to talk to us, because you go back to the 70s with home staging. I mean, you're like the mother of home staging. So we're just so excited to have you on the show.
Well, thank you so much. Yes, some people call me the mother of home staging. The New York Times wrote that she's the grand dame. Whatever.
Well, Barb is, she's a realtor herself. She came up with the accredited staging professional designation for realtors. She trains people on how to be home stagers. The National Association of Realtors approves Barb's class. She is an author. And so really, Barb, you're very busy.
Well, thank you so much. I love what I do, and I'm possessed with it, actually, Shannon.
You know, we have a lot of people out in the Houston market who are realtors. We have over 24,000 realtors, I believe, here in our Houston market. So we have a lot of realtors. And one of the things, if you're going to list homes for sale, one of the things you really have to know is how to get that home staged. So either you have to partner with a home stager, or you need the designation yourself to be able to help your clients stage that home. Do you agree?
I totally agree. And it's like everything else that we do as realtors. You know, our role is really to list the house, market it, get it sold, get the sale closed. And we're not up on the roof cleaning the roof, and we're not pumping the septic, and usually not even testing the water.
Right.
So, you know, professional ASP home stagers are trained to really make realtors money, because time is money.
It is, and the better you stage the home, the quicker it sells, and for more money usually. So it's so important. So how did this all evolve for you? How did it come about? Because, you know, back in, I guess, the 60s, they didn't have home staging.
No, you know, it's so funny. Sometimes as I tell people that I came up with the idea of home staging, some people have said, gee, we thought you'd be dead by now. It's like, no, staging hasn't been around that long, but it was something that I really saw a need for, and my background really brought me to coming up with a concept. I taught school for a while. I sang professionally for a while in off-Broadway musicals and plays, and then I went into real estate, and I was just shocked the way that houses looked. And I at first said, well, let's decorate your house. And the seller said, decorate? Why would decorate? We're going to be moving. And so I thought and experimented with different things to say to them. And then I thought of the theater, because we set the scene for every act in a play or musical. And so I started saying to sellers, we need to set the scene in this bedroom or the kitchen or the dining room for the buyers coming through. In other words, we need to set the stage. And that's exactly how I came up with the idea, based on my theater background.
I have a great friend who always refers to it like a date. You know, you wouldn't go on a first date with no makeup on. You know, your first date, you want to look great. And that's the same with your house. When that buyer comes through for the first time, you want to look great. The fifth time they come through, it's okay to have boxes stacked everywhere and the paintings sitting on the floor, because they know you're moving out. But that first time they come through, it's just so important that it be staged correctly.
Well, it really is important because I have many staging sayings I've come up with through the years, quick sound bites to be able to explain to my clients and to realtors and stagers. And one of them is buyers only know what they see, not the way it's going to be. So working with clients, I always say we have to keep it staged until all contingencies, conditions, and subject to's are removed. Because people can fall out of love with a house when they buy it and it's staged, they make the offer, it's accepted, and then they come back to show their relatives, and it isn't anything like what they saw, then they're like, wow, what happened to the house? And I mean, seriously, and let's say a buyer inspection comes in and they find bugs or something, which is quite common anywhere in the United States, at least a few of them. And then they may say, well, you know, the house doesn't feel the same, and now we found bugs, and it really scares the buyer when the emotions are changed. And that's what staging is. It sets the scene for people to come in and mentally move in. That's
I love that phrase, mentally move in, and we've used that before on the show because you teach your teachers that, I know, because I've had some of your teachers on the show who say that, and it's so true. I mean, the buyers have to mentally move in because if they don't, it'll never happen. They have to have their heart in it and really want it, unless it's like an investor buying. But when it's a consumer buying a home to live in, they have to be in love with it.
Yes, and you know, regardless of who's buying, it is a home, and homes have emotions about them. And there's a point I'd like to bring up here that I just feel very, very strongly about, and that is that the marketing for the property needs to match how the house looks. And how the house looks needs to match the marketing materials. Now, why do I say this? Is because some agents will decide, you know, well, we'll just touch it up on the internet. And then the buyer goes to look at it, and the place could be vacant or a mess if it's lived in. And they'll just turn it around and walk out because what they saw on the internet doesn't match what they see in person at the house. And I'm really, really, really strong on that both have to match each other. And that's why it has to be staged in person, not just on the internet, because otherwise, it's like you said about the date. Some people, you know, date on the internet, and if they see a picture and then they go to the lunch date and the person walks in the door doesn't look anything like the picture, they're going to leave.
Yeah, a bit of disappointment there. That's right. On August 14th and 15th at our brokerage, Register Real Estate Advisors over in Spring, we are going to be offering Barb's class. It's the ASP designation for realtors. And Barb, there are a lot of people out there who are realtors who know they need this class and need to take it. And they can, of course, go to your website and sign up for the class. And then there are also people who might be interested, though, in maybe they're not a realtor, but they're interested in being a home stager and kind of starting a career as a home stager. So they can go to the website as well and register. What is your website?
Well, of course, the www, and then it's staged, StagedHomes.com, StagedHomes.com.
All right. And when realtors have this designation and they list people's homes, those homes can also be put on your website.
Absolutely. ASPs, whether they're a realtor or a stager, can put the house, once it's staged, on StagedHomes.com. And so on the site, we have a directory for the public to find graduates of the class. And then we have the wonderful house for sale portal, and all the leads go to the realtor who became the ASP or the stager that became the ASP, who will then refer them to the realtor. So
it's so important to really, for consumers, it's another marketing piece for them. I know for us, when we have homes that we stage, we put the home staging sign writer on the house so they know to go to Staged Homes and find the house, as well as the local MLS, local websites as well.
Good for you, because it is all about recognition. And, you know, houses that are not staged are used to sell the ones that are. It's all the comparison game.
That's right.
So it's really, really important that the consumer realizes they need to work with a realtor that what home staging is. And then many realtors team up with our ASP stager, and they'll bring them in to actually do the work with the seller to get the house staged.
That's right. Well, Barb, we certainly appreciate you coming on the show, being the creator of home staging. It's great to have you on the show, and we definitely want to promote the class that's coming up on August 14th and 15th. And there's also a date on the 16th if you are going to be a professional home stager. If you're a realtor, it's just only on the 14th and 15th. And Barb, realtors get MCE credits for their license as well for this class. Is that right?
This is really true. I think it's, it's 16 hours, which is really, really great. And both the stagers and the realtors take the first 2 days together. And we go out to a house that's for sale and actually stage it in the class. And then the stagers stay for the third day for learning how to open and build a staging business. So day one is communication, which can sound like, really? What's that about? Well, you see, staging is a communication tool because when a buyer drives by, the outside communicates a message as well as the inside. So how we also communicate with the seller, for example, if you say you need to spend money getting your house staged, they're liable to rebel. Rather, you say you need to make the investment in staging because there's a big return on it. Then you're going to get a different reaction from the seller and they're going to go ahead. So day one is communication day. Day two is staging, where we teach all of our ideas, concepts, my secrets that I've developed all these 40 years. And that's where we go out to the house. And then day three is business day for the people becoming stagers for their career.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Barb is the mother of the ASP staging professional, the accredited staging professional designation. And so if you are a realtor, it's so important to have that. And if you are someone who's looking to start a new career, real estate's really booming here in the Houston area, and home staging is so big. It's a great opportunity. Barb is Skyping in, and we do appreciate you coming on the show. If you're interested in finding out more about this program, you can go to rrea.com/staged and actually register for the class and use promo code RREA to save $45 off the class. So we're happy to be able to save you money when you do that. We're going to be right back after a commercial break. Do want to remind you about call-in questions. If you've got a real estate question you'd like us to answer here on the air, that number is 281-882-8088. Here on Houston Real Estate Radio. We'll be right back.